Good afternoon. Today's date is July 15th, 2026. We're here at the residence of Nadir, Nanjee, and what we're here to do is a damage analysis video / presentation examining the damages claimed on this homeowner's policy. See if they line up with the reported hail date that we have in the area. One thing I want to point out off the rip, based on direction of storm, which I believe would come from this direction, several window screens with obvious damage on them, which is consistent with that which takes place in hail. You can see hits in the window screens that appear to be circular in shape. Again, wasn't a very large hailstorm, but we are seeing some damages present. So that's the first thing that I want to point out as far as collateral damage. Again, it's on all of these window screens on this back slope. Let's keep taking a look around, see if we see anything else. Again, I'm seeing them on all of these window screens on the back slope. Widespread, consistent. Stand over here so my phone doesn't overheat. And I'm taking close-up photos of what I can get with my phone, just so we can see it, because I know my cameras on my glasses is not going to pick that up from back here. Alrighty. Got galvanized downspouts. At least I believe. Nope, these are aluminum. I'm seeing hits on the aluminum downspout. You can see up there. Out of reach of human hands, which is pretty consistent with hail. Looks like we're showing about 1/2 inch in diameter. Hit right here on the downspout. It's about 1/2 inch in diameter. Some very light spatter on the AC unit. I love it when C-Canal comes out and they don't photograph the spatter, but they make sure to chalk up over any spatter to photograph. Those aren't going to take damage from Georgia hail, so I love how we mark those up but not photograph the obvious spatter. Photograph that hit. Looks like we're showing about, again, 1/2 inch in diameter. A consistency with what we're analyzing here. It's looking to be about 1/2 inch in diameter, meaning the hailstone was anywhere from 1/2 inch to 3/4 inches. Let's set up our ladder and hop up on the roof to examine the meat of this hamburger that is a claim, if you will. All right, let's get up on this roof that has seen better days. Oh, and I have also seen better days. I'm getting older every day. Still young. Oh. Ooh. Alrighty. Metal ridge cap. If there's any hail at this property, should be present on this. Let's take a look. Okay, against the light you can see obvious dents. Let's take a look right there. The age-old question: will 1/2 inch hail damage a property? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch is dense enough to damage metal components, but based on State Farm's review and analysis of this claim, I guess it's not dense enough to damage shingles. Metal, but not shingles. Metal, but not fiberglass shingles. Okay, let's take a further look around here. These are notorious, and I'll be honest, I don't know why, but these flat rain caps typically don't show a lot of damage. However, I'm seeing some. Let's see what we got. Half inch. What are the odds? Half inch. Now some of these are obviously bigger. Just because the reported hail date at this location was half inch doesn't mean that some larger stones were not produced. Half inch. If we look over here, looks like we got 3/4 of an inch. So 1/4 of an inch bigger, which is what you can typically expect. I mean, the science behind this is, you know, nature. It's not going to be only half inch. There are going to be some larger stones in there. Let's take a look at the shingles. All right, I'm going to circle some anomalies that I see present on the asphalt shingles. Very soft to the touch, indicating bruised matting, not just granule loss. Embedded granules into the shingle. And again, you can see it is widespread. Careful I don't lose my footing up here. Let's get back over here. Just want to look. Okay. And again, I'm just selecting them at random. You can see there's some more down there. For the sake of measuring, we'll measure them anyway. So we've got half inch to 3/4 inch. 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 Three-quarter inch on that one. Right here. Half inch to 3/4 inch. Half inch to 3/4 inch. Now, one thing I want to point out is every one of these anomalies that I'm taking a look at, they're different in shape, not exactly the same shape, but they're all consistent in that size that we're measuring, which is also consistent with the hail confirmed at this address on the reported data loss claimed on this claim. See another one there. So we've got half inch to 3/4 inch. So we're seeing a consistency, half inch to 3/4 inch on this roof. Now, wear and tear. I'm not going to argue that there's not any up here. There is. Thing is wear and tear does not happen in the same pattern, shape, sizes as hail does. You can see here some very clear blistering right here. Okay. What I want to point out is there is no asphalt whatsoever here. There's no embedded granules. You can see that the granules have actually popped outward with the asphalt from heating up beneath. Again, blistering here, you can see no asphalt, just a complete fiberglass, nothing embedded. Again, I'll take a couple close-up photos. And the main thing that you want to look at here is the sizes and measurement. Look here, we have over 1.5 to 2 inches, over 1.5 inches here. Look here, some wear and tear. Look like we're at about 2 inches here. There's no consistency with wear and tear. Okay, wear and tear could be any amount of different sizes, from 1/4 inch to 3 inches, just depending on the rate that it heats up and it ages. Let's take another look down here at this slope. Okay, look over here at this left slope. See if we see any anomalies. All right, let's take a look. There's another one right there. It's like we got 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, indicating that the hail was likely 1/2 inch. Half inch, half inch, half inch to 3/4 inch, half inch, half inch to 3/4 inch. Folks, you can see some spatter up here on this north facing slope. Measuring up to 1/2 inch. All those little white dots, that's hail spatter. Granted, albeit it's not the biggest I've ever seen, but I think that we've shown enough consistency on the ground and on this roof to confirm this policyholder, this homeowner, this customer did in fact take damage to their property as a result of the hail that took place on the data loss. Way too many consistencies for it to not be caused by the same loss. So, as always, we appreciate you guys taking the time to review this. We look forward to hearing back.